Jan.
And I'm Tracey, and we are here at Celebration Key, Carnival Cruise Line's private island.
All right, so we just came into Celebration Key. Now, just as you come underneath the arch, what you come into is Paradise Plaza. Over the right, you have music. You obviously probably hear a bit of it. And then off to the left, you see guest services and shore excursions.
So once you come under the arch, you do pass by a couple of gift shops and some pay ice cream places, and then you get to this bridge right in front of the castle, and this is where the division starts. So off on my left, we have the Starfish Lagoon, and that's for people with families and children, and off to the right is the Calypso Lagoon, and that is your 18 and olders.
So we've just came underneath what they call the sandcastle, and what is part of the sandcastle is the sandcastle slides. These are basically racing slides where basically you have two water slides. You can race each other. This is for a fee. A lot of things here are for free, or for a fee, not for free. It costs $14.99 per person, but that's for the entire day here to be able to do the water slides. Now, we are actually standing, as you come in through the sandcastle, you are standing in the Lagoon Cove. This is basically your shopping area. You have lots of different things that you largely see in most of your Caribbean port terminals. Is those type of shops you have here. Now over to the left, you do have a bar. There's the fact that your drink package does not convey to the beaches here in Celebration Key, so they are for purchase. I looked, you have kind of your basic cocktails are about $14, and then your signature cocktails are about $19.
After you walk through all the shops and artisanal areas of Lagoon Cove, you come to the very back. This is the exit of the Celebration Key. This is where you're going to be meeting your shore excursion places. So there's a whole bunch of kiosks here, lines here for people for all the different things that they do. So they don't meet on the ship, they meet out here. Also, when you come out here, you can see that there's local transportation. So Celebration Key, it's private island of Carnival. However, it is part of the bigger part of the Grand Bahamas. So you can rent a car or you can take a taxi into the Grand Bahamas if you want to do something separate. But again, this is the very back of the Carnival part of Celebration Key.
All right, so we have moved as far forward or as far north as you can here at Celebration Key. Tracey showed you where you can get ground transportation, but now what we've done, we started moving off to the right as you're coming off the ship, or to the east. Now, as Tracey said, the Celebration Key is divided into two halves. Off to the east, or the right as you come off the ship, is your Starfish Lagoon. That is your family-friendly, all your kids and everything. Everyone's welcome here. And then off to the left, as you come off the ship, or to the west, what you have is the Calypso Lagoon. Now, together, those two lagoons actually form the largest freshwater lagoon of all the Caribbean, which is kind of cool. In order to get around, there is a tram system on either side. In this case, right behind us is the tram system for the Starfish Lagoon. They will actually take you from the meeting area right as you come off the ship, take you all the way around here, and you're going to see the little tents that have the words tram on them. That is where you can get on and off the tram. And over on the Calypso Lagoon side, you have the same thing. You have a tram that actually goes to the east all the way around to the top here, goes around and come back. All right, so what we're going to do now, we've shown you kind of the central portion as you come underneath the castle, the sand castle. What we're going to do now is we're going to go investigate Starfish Lagoon.
It's kind of springy. It's not, are you gonna get it? It's like vinyl. Janet already mentioned to you that there is complimentary as well as pay for items on the beach. For also, we know for sure is you cannot bring your beverage package with you. However, there are places called Island Eats, and they are sprinkled throughout this island, and it's going to be that you get one free complimentary meal per person in the stateroom. So if I wanted to go here, that means I couldn't use any of the other Island Eats after this. So it's just a variety of different foods that you can get.
Me here is a cabana concierge. Now, what she did tell me is there is a range of different prices for each one of the cabanas. For example, these over-the-water cabanas, okay, those are $750 for the day. Now, you have over the back here, you have the large. Those are about $900. They're quite a bit more expensive. However, they do include a free meal for everyone. You can have up to 10 people there. You do have these day beds. These day beds are only about $150 for the day, which is kind of pretty nice, especially for just two. And then you have these other kind of medium-sized cabanas. Those run about $500. So right behind me you have Gil's Grill. This is a pay for. This is not part of the Island Eats that Tracey is talking about. It is a bit expensive. I'll tell you, the entrees range anywhere from $20 from the fish and chips all the way up to over $40 for your lobster. A little pricey. All right, so now we are actually cruising at a time when school's in session. Now we are once again in the Starfish Lagoon, but what I'm just amazed about, there's two ships here. There, first of all, is the Carnival Celebration, which we're on with over 5,600 people, and then there is the Carnival Conquest, which is about 2,400 people. So you got a lot of people here, but you look behind me, there is lots of loungers. Now, I told you what the prices are for the cabanas. Here's the good news. These loungers, as well as the umbrellas, are complimentary, which you don't find on several of the other private islands for different cruise lines.
Down to the south side of the Starfish Beach. This is a public area and it's more kid friendly. And if you notice, there are tons and tons of loungers and umbrellas here. So it's a good time to come here because, wow, I cannot believe it. Two big ships in here and there's plenty of seating.
From the Starfish Beach, and what we have is we have another place you can get eat. Once again, this is Island Eats, so either you can have one meal here and then you have to pay after anywhere else on the island here, and then of course you do have, and this is one of the many of the restrooms we've seen. Now there is also lockers in the backside. You have to pay for those lockers, so if you want to be able to secure your valuables while you're enjoying the water, there is a place to be able to do that. So now we are back to the southern portion of the Starfish Lagoon, and we come to the food hall where, incidentally, you got food. Now this is one of your Island Eats areas, so your first meal anywhere on the island is actually free, but then you have to pay for if you eat anywhere else on Celebration Key. So we've now all gone all the way around Starfish Lagoon, and back behind me what we have is the Starfish Splash Pad. This is a great place for kids to be able to play in the water. And oh, by the way, don't worry parents, there is a bar right next to it.
Right now we are moving into the adult side of the Celebration Key, and this is the Calypso Lagoon. So this is your 18 and older area, and a lot of this stuff is complimentary and a lot of it's for pay. So let's go check it out.
All right, so just like what we have over on the Starfish portion, which is the family friendly, we have over here on the Calypso side. For example, just as we have the Starfish Beach, back behind me we have the Calypso Beach. Now, Tracy said this on the Calypso side is mostly adults and only 18 and over. However, the very first portion here on the Calypso Beach, as well as the first portion of the Calypso Lagoon, is actually for 13 and over. All right, so now we're getting into the Calypso Lagoon. Right behind me is Mingo's. This is a pay for, everything is for fee, bar and restaurant here. All right, so we are at the Pearl Cove Beach Club. This is a private beach. Usually you'll actually pay for this or reserve this on the ship. They're actually full right now, so you can't just walk up. Basically, this is anywhere from $100 to $180. For $100, that actually gives you a green wristband, which allows you for entry. For $140, you get 10 drinks in there. And then there is, for $180, not only do you get 10 drinks from their 3 bars, but you also have a meal from the restaurant that's in there. All right, we've walked about halfway around the Calypso Lagoon, and back behind we have the Surf and Sauce. This is a barbecue place. It is not part of the Island Eats, so everything here is for pay. And basically, it's not necessarily cheap. You do have an option for $30 per person, a minimum of 2 people, to have 3 items each. So you can eat here, or you can go back on the ship and get some barbecue over there at Guy Fieri's place. So we'll see. Now, as you saw in the Calypso Lagoon, very, very similar to the Starfish Lagoon. But here's the good news, as I mentioned earlier, we're actually traveling when children are in school. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the Starfish Lagoon and hang out for the rest of the day because there's actually a whole lot quieter and a whole lot more places to sit. All right, so if you want to compare this to both the Ocean Key, which is MSC's private island, or to Great Stirrup Key, which is our favorite island on NCL, go on to watch these 2 videos. And as always, keep on traveling.